Do you guys have any thoughts on adjusting your farming style to a more arid environment like Colorado?
I would talk to people in the area. That'd be the first thing I would do. Talk to people who have been grazing there for a long period of time. Just sort of, even if they're not doing regenerative stuff, like what kind of grasses, how much rain do you usually see? How often are there droughts? How long are they? What grasses do well during the drought? What grasses just disintegrate? How long it takes for regrowth? Like all those kinds of questions you need to be asking people in the area to get a beat on that kind of stuff. That's what I would go through, because a lot of the stuff that we learn is just, the principles are the same, but it's just context specific. So just understanding more about that specific context and then making assessments on how to set it up is how I would go about it. But I know it's a pretty terrible answer for what you.
And there's also there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to both, because the advantages of an arid climate, you don't have the parasites that you do in a more wet climate. But you don't have the regrowth because of the water. Your grasses are more highly mineralized because it's drier, but you don't have the tonnage, and so you got to have cattle that are adjusted to that. You need to have you have your farm set up or ranch set up so that you have enough time and large enough paddocks to be able to get back to where you're at. You gotta be stocked right, which that's all.
Yeah, and that's all. Universal. Maybe depending on the scenario, if you're using like BLM land or something that's not fenced at all and can't be fenced, maybe you've got to use horses to do some in-herding or something like that.
If you're interested in the in-herding, go check out what Alder Spring Ranch. They actually have an internship program.
They're in Idaho. They have a big Instagram.
It was 70. Anyways, go check them out.
They do a lot of in-herding on horseback, but that's something that would be in an arid environment with huge amounts of land, very little fence, not a lot of people. That kind of management style might be a priority versus Greg's high tensile wire, perimeter fences, and poly wire, poly braid, paddocks, divisions, and that kind of stuff. Some of it might work in certain scenarios, but this is just, you got to think about your context and take what we're talking about, what we've learned, what Greg talks about, understand all of that, and then use the pieces that make sense. That's all I can really tell you. We don't have any direct experience managing
in that environment.
So